is that crackling and popping? It's because you have an iPhone. So with iPhone, mine does it too. Is it hot, a little bit hot in your hand?
If I do what?
Is your phone hot in your hand? Do you feel like it's like a little bit hot?
It's getting warm since I've been online.
Getting warm, yeah. Sometimes I'll throw like an ice pack under my phone. I swear to God, when I'm on StreamYard on my phone, which I rarely ever do, I try to avoid going live ever or jumping on a panel with StreamYard because iPhones are horrible. It's not your fault. It's the iPhone. So like when you're not talking, just mute. It goes completely away. And then unmute when you talk and the crackling goes away. But that's the only way to fix it.
The time you're talking. Let me grab an
I know.
real quick and I'll set it under my thumb.
Huh?
I said, give me just a second and I'll grab an ice pack and set it under my
thumb. Okay.
All right, hang on one sec.
Okay. Mine gets like that once I hit like 60%. So like if I'm on 90, I'm good. But once my phone starts losing battery, it really
Okay, Heather. So Heather said BombShell took back the identity theft because she talked to the storage people.
Which Susan Hunt, mute your mic on real quick while you're not talking.
I'll mute her. I'll mute her and then she can.
How will she tell you that she's ready?
Well, I can't unmute her. She'll have to unmute herself, though.
I don't think she can unmute herself if you mute her.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
Susan Hunt, can you hear me?
No, she went to go get an ice pack.
Oh, she didn't take it with her. Okay. All right. So Randy, real quick, I don't know like what happened before. I was just listening for 2 seconds because I got a screenshot of something in random in your chat. And I was just like poking over to see like what was going on because I didn't know why I came up over here. But then I saw Susan and thanks for letting me up. I know that we usually don't talk or whatever, but I appreciate that you let me come up. I spoke to Susan.
Made it worse.
What did that? Just mute when you're not talking and it'll be all right.
All right. Let me figure. Okay. I found the
mic. Mute when you're not talking, then unmute when you talk, and it'll crackle for you, but it won't for the panel or the chat. So real quick, I just want to say one thing. So Randy, you had just said a few minutes ago that, I'm not even going to say anything. Never mind. I'm going to close the chat. I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to talk to you, Randy. Okay. So I had listened and what you were saying to Susan about how she knew who Bomb was. And I know a lot of people have said the same thing to me. Like, you knew who Bomb was, you knew. And the people that were taken advantage of, you should have told them. And you knew what they were, in store for. And this, that.
No, I didn't say that.
No, not you. I'm saying like all the different things. I apologize. I should have worded that differently. No, I'm just saying like over the course of the last couple of weeks, I've heard it all. Like Tiffany set her own people up. It's the craziest stuff being said. It's absolutely blasphemous to think that I would ever set up my own subscribers to be taken advantage of. I had no idea that this was going on. I really want to really commend Susan for speaking up because I feel like she's in the position where there was probably a really big chance she might not have said anything at all. And I think it took a lot of strength and courage to speak up, considering, she had just been down there helping Bomb move. So Susan explained to me that she went there right after she had her heart cath removed. And she was asked by Bomb to help her move. And that when she was there, she wasn't able to do any heavy lifting. All she could really do was like wrap things up and put them in boxes and such. And it was, it was really hot out. She was short of breath. She wasn't feeling too hot. You know what I mean? She wasn't feeling good. And she had just gone through a lot medically. Now, number one, that's just absolutely disgusting that Bomb would even think to ask Susan to drive. Never mind the fact she drove, 3 hours, I think, something like that, just 3.5 hours to get there to help her move after just having a heart cath taken out. That's sick. That's sick. And Bomb does not care about that at all. She doesn't give a shit. And that is the most disturbing of all, is that Susan here, literally heart surgery, okay? Heart surgery. Your heart and your brain are the most important organs in your body. Without them, you will not live. So she should have been resting, number one. And when you said, Randy, now I agree with you 100% on what you just said about, I know that Susan's been here already. Like, she already knows what is going on, but she wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt because she thought that she was doing better, but so didn't I. And when I saw it, Bomb was coming over to my chats all the time. I've never had a problem with Bomb ever. We've always gotten along, never foreseen this coming at all. We weren't close. We didn't talk on the phone every day. Like, I would just go in her chat. She would come in mine. She followed Summer's case. She would come on my panel. She was very present throughout Summer's case. On and off. She definitely was supportive of the stream. She was supportive of Summer. She was very, very kind to the people in my chat, everything. And I started going over to Bomb's channel when she started covering the Summer Wells Reward Fund marathon that is gone to court now. So when Bomb started talking about that, it was a relief, really, because when you have an extra person or extra set of eyes on something, it frees up some time for you to do other things too that are important. So I was thankful for her help. And I told her, like, I straight up told her, I believe in you. And I think that you can really do wonderful things. And I want to see your channel grow. And I want to see you do good. Like, I really encourage Bomb. Let me say this. I don't think that Bomb was honest about anything, okay? I really don't. And looking back now, because when you look at the eviction in April, I believe, there's no way possible that you can be evicted within 2 months in 2 different homes. That's not even realistic, and it's bullshit. So something went wrong there, in my opinion. Something went very wrong there. And it was when her camera was off, I believe. But anyhow, it doesn't matter. I could talk for an hour about it. I just want to really talk about Susan. So Susan here, and I understand, like, she has a different relationship with Bomb than I did. She was closer to Bomb than I was. And I think that Susan does have the heart where she's a people pleaser. And I do think she is the type of person that will forgive, maybe not forget, but forgive and say, okay, I'm going to give this person another chance. They seem to be doing really well. And I thought Bomb was doing really well too. And in all fairness, when all of the crazy stuff was going on with BombShell, like, you would hear people say Bomb scammed this person or Bomb scammed that person, or I never went over and watched all those streams. I would hear stuff, but I didn't take it seriously. I didn't think Bomb was doing anything like that. I really didn't. But that's my fault because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't even know that her water was off. And I asked her, and she said she was homeless. And I'm like, why didn't you come to me? Why didn't you tell me this was going on? I would never want to know that anybody was homeless. I would want to help. Like, I would want to know that. And she's like, well, you were busy covering Summer. And I'm like, okay, well, that's odd. How did I not hear about that? But anyway, I had no idea she had a hose running through her window. I didn't know any of that. So when people say you should have known, you knew who Bomb was. No, actually, I didn't know that Bomb was a, an e-beggar in DMs asking people for mass amounts of money. Like, we're not even talking $20 or $10 or $50. It was like, I need 400, and then I have a fee I need to pay on top of that. So these people were giving half a G note to her right off the rip. And then she was going to them and hitting them up for more. Okay. And Randy, did you watch my stream at all? I don't know if you did or not.
Yes.
Okay. So you're aware of all that. I don't need to tell you anything. Okay. So when Susan had reached out to me after my stream. Now, the night before, she had gone up on Bombs, and Susan, you can cut me off at any time if you need to correct me or anything, okay? If I get something wrong, just say so, because I don't want to speak for you ever. So when Susan went up on Bombs, that was the night before I had my live stream. The live stream that I did, I was told by Susan that she contacted me, I believe, that night really late, like maybe 12 or 1 a.m. in my emails. And she said, would you be willing to speak to me? And I said, of course. So the next day we had a conversation. I think it was about like an hour and a half long. She gave me the rundown of everything that had gone on, that she had paid for the storage unit. I believe, Susan, was it 2 storage units? Because I remember you said she had 2.
Yeah, it was 2 storage units. When we originally rented the first one, I asked her about the size, and it was a small storage unit. And it said it would do like a room in an apartment. And so we rented that unit thinking that was big enough. Well, then when she looked at the stuff in the truck, she was like, oh no, that unit's not going to hold everything. So we called them back and we said, can we switch units? Can we get a bigger unit? And they said yes, but they would not transfer the money that had been paid on the smaller unit to the bigger unit. They said that she would have to come in the following day on Monday and get a refund for the smaller unit. So we had to pay for the smaller unit and the larger unit. And she said, well, I'll just keep the smaller unit because I'll go later and downsize the bigger unit. I'll go through my stuff and get rid of what I'm not keeping, and then it'll fit in the smaller unit. But that day we had to pay for 2 units. And then she was supposed to go back and consolidate down to a small one.
Okay. And Susan, when you did that, can you explain to me, did you put your name on any of that or your information in any way? Did she ask you to be a contact person or anything like that?
When I was setting it up, we used my email address because I was on the phone with them for them to send like the contract for her to do.
Mhm.
She took my phone in her hand, gave them her information. So her name is on the contract. And she gave them her debit card number because when I got the money, I immediately PayPal'd it to her.
Okay, so you immediately
They made
PayPal'd
my
Mom
email address.
for the storage unit. Like right away, you just gave her the money. And how much was that? Was it 151 or was it the 200?
Well, 151 was the U-Haul truck. 250 was
Okay.
the storage unit.
Okay. So, and was that Susan, was that when you needed to ask for help from a friend to get the funds in there that you returned to that friend? Or was that for something else? I just want to be clear about it.
That was for the storage unit. We've already talked about that before
Okay.
you come up on panel.
Yeah.
I borrowed for the storage unit right on the spot. As soon as I got it, I sent it to Bomb for her to pay for the storage unit.